Hello everyone, welcome to Pepcoding. So in this video we are going to discuss another problem of our stack module, which is reverse substrings between each pair of parentheses. So firstly we discuss the question, then we move to our approach. So what they are given in question, you are given a string S that consists of lowercase English letters and brackets. So they are providing us a string which contains lowercase English letters and some brackets. Okay. Reverse the string in each pair of matching parentheses starting from the innermost one. So what they are saying, we have to reverse the string in each pair of matching parentheses. What is the meaning of this one is, like, we have parentheses this. So here some string, here some string, here also. So we have to firstly starting point, what they are saying, starting from innermost one. Okay, and matching parenthesis also. So the innermost is this one. So we have to reverse the string between these two, then these two brackets, then this pair, like that. Okay, now see, your result should not contain any brackets. So we don't have to print, or don't have to add any bracket in our result. All are characters or alphabets. Okay. Now in example, they are giving us some example, like for ABCD, we have one pair of parentheses. So in this ABCD, the output is reverse of this DCBA. Then we have another one for I love you. They are giving us like that, one pair inside another. Then for Pepcoding, they are giving us firstly we have one inner. I am taking it to a whiteboard so that you can easily see. Okay, I'm increasing the size of that one. I hope it's visible, clearly visible to all. Yeah, you can see. So what they are saying in this one, for this one, firstly we reverse this string, or what they are saying, reverse innermost. You have two strings in each pair of matching parentheses. Okay, so I am right. Reverse this one, then reverse this one, then reverse whole. I'm making it, drawing this from different color. Firstly, for reversing first one, we are reversing firstly reverse this one. I am taking highlighter. I hope something wrong happened. Now it's not working. Now it's work. Okay. So what we have to do? I'm taking it here. Taking yellow color. Firstly reverse this one, because we have to start from inner parenthesis. Then we reverse this one, then reverse this one, then reverse whole string. So by doing that, we get our answer. So this is the question what they are given. Okay. Now see the sample input output. So the in sample input, here our sample input, they are giving us the string, and we have to print. We get for this input, we have output pep coding. Okay. So let's move to a whiteboard where we discuss our approach. So I am requesting you, if you didn't watch our last videos in which what we are doing, minimum add to make brackets validate, or score of parenthesis, or minimum add, like these two questions. If you didn't watch, please go and watch, because we are using the rule or things which we do in that question, last questions, some concept or like some tricks or the algo of these two questions we are using here. Some of part we are using, like in these we are dealing with parentheses, same thing we are doing here. We are dealing with independent pairs, like single pairs. For this one, this, for this one, this. So this, so same thing we are doing in the minimum add to validate parenthesis, or like score of parenthesis, the last two questions. So I am requesting you, if you didn't watch these questions or solve this question, please go and watch them or solve them, then come to this question, that may help you. Okay, so starting from here, I am taking the first one. Here they are giving us G N I P C D O E P. Here is not this E P. So we have to firstly solve inner one. So we solve this one, that we get G N I C P, sorry, bracket P C O D bracket E P bracket. Now we have to solve this one. This gives us G N I forget bracket here, O D, so D O D O C P E. Now solve this, we get Pepcoding. Okay. So for doing that, what we do in the last question, we are using a stack. Same thing we are doing here. We are creating a stack, taking a stack for that. Okay. So this is our stack. I am making a stack here. Now for this one, what we are doing, they are giving, we are like when we have characters or starting brackets, starting bracket or opening bracket, we push them in our stack. When we get our first or another opening closing bracket, we start popping it out until we get our opening bracket, first opening bracket, like this one. Like we are start iterating, we start pushing, we firstly push this one, then this, then this, then this one, then P C, then opening bracket, then D, then O, then this first closing bracket come, we start popping out until we get this first opening bracket from the top. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to reverse innermost parenthesis. So for that, what we are doing, we are pushing them in our stack, and when we get our closing bracket, we popping it out. Okay, so firstly we have opening bracket, we push it in our stack, then G, we push it in our stack, then N, push it in our stack, then I, push it in our stack, then opening bracket again, push it in our stack, then P, push it in our stack, then C, again push it, then our opening bracket, then D, then O, then after O, what we have? We have a closing bracket. For that, what we do? We are popping it out from our stack. So now, for now, I am taking a faith, or like assuming a faith, like when we popping it out, we have some mechanism or some things which we made, which make it reverse and give it again, and then we push it, this reverse thing, like now we pop O and D, then this, that data structure or like anything. First, now currently I am assuming that we have something which make it reverse and giving it back. So in when we popping out, we pop it O from O, then pop D, then we pop bracket. Why we are popping out opening bracket? Because in this question they are giving what they are giving. You can see here, your result should not contain any brackets. Okay, so that's why we are removing it out. And we can also we can easily found the another pairing of another closing one, opening pair of another closing one. Okay, now we are adding it again in our stack. We get O D. Okay, I'm removing it from here. Now we have O D. We are assuming something. We have maybe it's data structure or any function that reverse our string, which we are popping it out and give it back. Then we are adding it again in our stack in reverse order. Then we move forward. When we move forward, we have again closing bracket. Then we pop it out. Then we are popping it out. We get D O C P. And in our stack, what we have? In our stack, we also remove the opening bracket. We have D O C P. This room's remove from here, and we get this. Now move forward. When we are moving forward, we have E. We add E in this. We have P. We add P in this. Now closing bracket come. You can see this is closing bracket. We pop it out until we get our opening bracket. So we popping it out. We pop P E P. Okay. We pop it out P P, then again P, then C, then O D I G I N G. Then we have bracket. So we also removing bracket from our popping out from our stack because we don't want any bracket in our answer. Now what we have? We have P E P C O D I N G. Okay, now we add this in again in our stack. Pepcoding. We get which we want. We get in this our stack. Okay, now I'm taking another example so that you can easily understand about this one. Okay, so I am taking this one. So for starting, we have opening bracket, we are pushing it in our stack. Then we have U, we are pushing it again we are pushing it in our stack. Then we have bracket, opening bracket, then we have L, then we have O, then we have V, then we have E, then it's come closing bracket. So when we get any closing bracket, what we do? We start popping it out. So we are removing E, then V, then L, then O, then bracket also. After removing this, what we get? We firstly remove E, then V, then O, then L. Then we start adding it again. We get E, V, O, L. Now we have I. We add I, then again closing bracket. And closing bracket, what we have to do? We are popping it out. E, I, L, O, V, E, U. Then we get our opening bracket. We also popping it out. Then when we are popping out, what we get? We get I, L, O, V, E, and U. Push it in our stack. We get I love you. So we get our output in our stack. Okay, what we want, we get it. Now I am taking third one so that you can completely understand about this concept, about the question and our approach, what we are doing. So in the third one, what they are given, we have firstly, I'm talking about this one. So we have bracket, then A, then B, then C, then D, then we have closing bracket. Okay, so when we have closing bracket, we popping it out, then D, C, B, A. When we are popping out, our stack size becomes 0. There is not any character in this. Then we are pushing it again. So D, C, B, A. here. Okay, so but now we talk about the thing, or we can data structure which make our string reverse and give it back to us so that we can push it in our stack. So for that, let's see. Let's suppose we have this one is our input. So we have A, B, C, D in our stack. Then we have to pop out, and then closing bracket appears or come in the string. Then what we have to do? We are popping it out and reverse it and again add in our stack or push in our stack. For that, let's assume I am taking array. Okay, so let's suppose I am taking array. Now D comes, I add D here. Then C comes, C here. Then B, then A. Then bracket. Okay, now its size becomes 0. Now what we have to do? We have to push this again in our stack. So D, C, B, A. We get our answer here. But this one is not appropriate for us because we are taking here at array for reversing the this string or adding this in for some time. For that we can reverse it and again add it in our or push it in our stack, because for this one size is 4 but we take array of 5, so waste of size. Let's suppose for second example we take array for this one, size is 2, but in the next time we have to use array of 4. Then in the third time we have take array of this whole size, so that's create a difficulty for us. For that one, see here, I'm taking first example here. You can see A, B, C, D in our stack. Let's suppose I'm taking it again an array. You can see we are first adding D, then adding C, then adding B, and then A. See it, see here very careful. This is very understanding point. If you understand this point, you can understand whole the question, and then you can easily understand our approach. Here we are first adding D here, and then which one is first out from here? When it becomes 0, what's out from here? D. So it's also first out. First add, first out. So you can remember what data structure have similar properties. Yeah, Q. What have Q? First in, first out. Same thing we are using here, and also there is not any size issue. This is a dynamic data type data structure, so it's easily increase and decrease according to our need. So instead of array, if we use a queue here, you can see if you use a queue here, what happen? This is our queue. So firstly D add A, B, C, D here. Okay. So firstly D add in this one, D come here, then C. So first in, then C again in, then B again, then A. So it's become 0. Okay. Now what we have? When we first in, first out, add it in our D, then C, then B, then A. So the problem of data structure which we use to reverse our string is solved. But in our stack we have array, we have string in our order of output. If we pop it out, what we get? Let's see. A at the peak, top, then B, then C. I am dividing it these by a line so that you can easily. At top we have A, then we pop it out, we get A. Then after A removing, when A removes from this, we have B. Okay. When we pop it out B, what we get? AB. Now what we have, when we pop it out C, we have ABC. When we pop last one, we have D. Now it's similar to our given string, but we want reverse of this. So for dealing this problem, what we do, we take a character array. Here I am creating character array. In this character array, we are creating the character array of size of stack. So we have, in this one we have A, we have D, C, B, A. Now its size is also. Now see here what I am doing. We are taking a character array. See, this is a character array. Now I am popping it out from stack and adding at the last of character array. I am again repeating. I am popping out from the stack and adding in the last at n last of the character array. Then you can see to popped out from this one. Now here you can see A popped out from this one. We have A here. Now it's time to for B. Then B popped out, come in the string array. Sorry. Now C popped out, come here. Now D popped out. When you print it, what we get? Or we push edit this in string, what we get? We get B, sorry, D. Here is D. D, C, B, A. This is our desired output. I am again repeating what I am doing in this one. I am firstly adding all these. What I am doing here, again I am repeating. Firstly, I am push these all characters in our stack until closing bracket come. When closing bracket come, I am popping them out. Popping them out only when we pop out all these characters. When until I am popping them until we get our opening bracket. When we get our opening bracket, I pop it out. Okay, so it's become vacant or the size becomes 0. Then I'm using a queue that store these, and the queue have a full phenomena: first in, first out, then D in first, then out. Here we get D, C, B, A, which is our desired output. But when we pop out, stack have properties last in, first out. So deal with this problem. Like when we popping out, we get A, B, C, D. So dealing with this problem, we are taking a character array, and what we are doing, when we take a character array, we are adding, popping from the stack and adding at the last of character array. By doing that, we get our desired output. So I hope you understand this. Let's move to our editor and write our code. This is our editor, where what they are given. In this, they are giving us a string S. Okay. Then we have a resultant string, and we have a reverse parenthesis function which we have to complete, and at the last they are printing the result string. Okay. Now I'm start writing our code here. Firstly, I'm creating stack, so I am creating stack of character type. So char, giving it name st. Now start iterating from int I is equals to 0, I is less than s dot length, g length, then I plus plus. Okay. Now I am taking a character c, which is s at I. Okay, now I am checking my first condition. If C is equals to closing bracket, then what we are doing, you can see in our whiteboard, when our closing bracket come, what we are doing, we are start popping from the stack until we get our opening bracket. Okay, so for that, and what we are doing, I am creating a queue of character type queue, then while st.top is not equals to opening bracket, what I am doing, I am adding in the queue push st.top and st.pop. Okay, so you see here, this is our queue. Like I'm making new queue here, so that clearing these all, making these all new, so that you can easily understand what I'm writing in my code. I'm taking it up, taking this example. Okay, this is our stack. Okay, so assuming in our stack we have our bracket A, B, C, D. Then we have this one. So we have start popping until we get this bracket. So same thing I write here. So when we are popping out, what I am doing here, I'm creating a new. I'm creating, this is our queue. I'm giving them name, tag, and queue. We have A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D in stack. So they are popping out and adding in here D, C, B, A. It's become, you can see this same thing I'm right here. New queue while st.top is not equals to 0 until we are start adding top in the queue and popping it out. Okay, now what we do, we also pop the opening bracket because we didn't want any bracket in our console. We pop it out. Okay, so we popped it out. Now what we have to do, we have to put these again in our stack. So for that, we have to do D, C, B, A. This thing, and remove from the queue. It's become 0. So what will I do? While q dot size is greater than 0, st dot push q dot front and q dot pop. Same, you can see this code here. Same thing you can see here. Size becomes 0. In stack we have DCBA. Same thing I do here. Now it's time to write else condition. If in starting we don't have closing bracket, so we have opening bracket, what we are doing, we are pushing them in our stack. So same thing we are right here, st dot push C. Now what we have to do, we have come out from the here. Now if we pop out from the stack, we get A, B, C, D. For dealing with this problem, what we are doing, we are creating a character array and adding this in the last, then this in last second, then this in the third, then in this in the first zeroth. We get DCBA, which is our desired output. Same thing I'm doing here. I'm creating an array vector of char, giving it name ch, st.size, and size is equals to st.size. You can see the size here. In the size of stack is 4, and the size is also 4. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I'm taking I, which is equals to ch dot size, ch dot size -1, while I is greater than equals to 0. What I am doing, ch at I equals to st dot top and st dot pop here. Okay, and the last I minus minus. So now our stack become empty by doing this all. Okay, I'm forgot to write 0 here. This one, here you can see size of array, it's become 0. So we get our desired output in our character array, but you can see the return type of our function is string. So what we have to do, we have to make them string. So I create a string, then start iterating for int I is equals to 0, I is less than ch dot size I plus plus, then str plus equals to ch at I. Okay, at the last, what I am doing, return str. Okay, now again explaining what I am doing here. I create a stack of character type, then start iterating, then take first character, then check if it's closing bracket, then create a queue, and then popping out from the stack until we get closing opening bracket, and pushing these in our queue. For why we are pushing it, because we again add these all characters in our stack in reverse order. Then I am popping it out, then we pop out the opening bracket, then here we are again adding these in a queue dot front in stack in reverse order, then popping it out from our queue, and then if this is not closing bracket, then we adding in the stack. Here I am creating a character array in which whose size is equals to st dot size, stack size. Then I am adding from the popping from the stack and adding in the last of the array, character array, then popping out from the stack, and then I am creating a string str, because we have to return type in strings, so we are making the character array as a string. Here I am creating a string and adding the characters value in string, and at the last I am returning the string. So trying to compile it, is there any error or it's... So we get Pepcoding in our output. So let's see. In our question, in the sample input, they are giving this same thing here, and the output we get Pepcoding. Here we also get Pepcoding. Trying to submit it. So it submits successfully. All test case pass. Run time is 0.2 second. Then size is 86 kb. So it's compiled successfully, submit successfully. So that's all about the question. If you have any doubt related to that question, please write in the comment section, like the video and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching the video.